right, welcome back to Build and Burn, where we break down the latest cars, trucks, and everything in between with zero fluff and 100% facts. Today, we're talking about something a little more refined, a little more luxurious but still packing some heat under the hood. We're diving deep into the brand new 2026 Acura MDX. Acura's flagship SUV just got a major update, and it's here to prove it still belongs in the heavyweight luxury ring. So grab your coffee, buckle up, and let's steer into what makes the 2026 MDX tick and whether it's truly worth your attention. First off, Acura didn't completely reinvent the MDX for 2026, but they've gone all in on refining everything that matters: design, tech, comfort, and performance. It's still based on the 4th generation platform introduced back in 2022, but you'll notice a sharper, bolder front end with a restyled grille and sleeker LED lighting signature. It looks more aggressive, more grown up, and more aligned with Acura's precision-crafted performance identity. And speaking of performance, Acura's still pushing that hard. The standard engine is a refined 3.5-litre V6 producing 290 horsepower and 267 pound-feet of torque, mated to a smooth 10-speed automatic transmission. But if you're chasing something a little more thrilling, stick around, because we're going to talk about the Type S in a moment, and that one. It slaps. Now, back to the base and technology trims. They're not pretending to be race cars. Instead, Acura leaned into a smoother ride, great cabin insulation, and serious comfort. That 10-speed does its job quietly and efficiently, and the SH-AWD system, super handling all-wheel drive, for the uninitiated, still remains one of the best AWD systems in the game. It actually shifts power not just front to back, but side to side for better handling, even on slick roads. You feel it in the corners. You feel it when you punch the throttle on a rainy day. Acura's AWD system is not a gimmick, it's the real deal. Inside, the 2026 MDX gets a big upgrade where it matters most. First up, materials. Acura's using richer leathers, real wood and metal accents, and a more cohesive layout throughout the cabin. It still seats 7 across 3 rows, but the big news is the improved third row access, finally something easier for families to manage. Infotainment? That's where things get a little divisive. Acura continues to use the touchpad interface for the 12.3-inch center screen. Some people love it, others absolutely hate it. The good news is, they've refined the responsiveness, made the menus more intuitive, and improved voice command performance for 2026. Plus, wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto are standard across the board. And the gauge cluster? Now fully digital, customizable, and just as sharp as anything you'd find in a BMW or Audi. Let's talk trims real quick. You've got the base MDX, the technology package, the A-Spec, the Advance, and then the range-topping Type S. Each trim brings something different to the table. The base model is a solid value loaded with features like panoramic roof, power liftgate, heated seats, tri-zone climate, and a full suite of Acura watch safety tech. That means adaptive cruise control, collision mitigation, lane keeping assist, it's all there. No nickel and dimming. But jump up to the A-Spec or Advance and you start seeing things like ventilated seats, a 16-speaker ELS Studios sound system, heated rear seats, and even massaging front seats in the Type S Advance. That's right, massaging seats in an Acura. Not just for Mercedes anymore. Now let's get to the heart of the beast, the 2026 Acura MDX Type S. This is where Acura flexes a little. Under the hood, we've got a 3.0-litre turbocharged V6 putting out 355 horsepower and 354 pounds-to-feet of torque. That power flows through the same 10-speed automatic, but it's been recalibrated for quicker shifts. The result: 0 to 60 in about 5.5 seconds. And for a 3-row SUV weighing in at over 4,500 pounds, that's impressive. But what really makes the Type S shine isn't just raw power, it's how it handles. Acura didn't just throw in a turbo and call it a day. They added adaptive air suspension, larger Brembo brakes, a sport-tuned exhaust, and tighter steering. In comfort mode, it cruises like a premium Lexus. But put it in Sport Plus and it firms up, drops the ride height, and responds like a performance SUV should. It's balanced, athletic, and more fun than a lot of competitors in its price range. Speaking of price, let's break it down. The base 2026 MDX starts around $52,000, which is actually a great value for a 3-row luxury SUV with this much standard equipment. Step up to the technology or A-spec trims and you're looking at $57,000–$60,000 depending on options. The Type S starts around $69,000, and the fully loaded Type S Advance pushes just over $73,000. Now, I know some folks will say, well, I can get a BMW X5 or Audi Q7 for that kind of money. True. But let's be honest, once you start optioning those out to match the Acura's features, you're north of $80,000 real quick. The MDX, especially the Type S, delivers 90% of the European experience at a much lower cost of ownership. Plus, you get Acura reliability and lower maintenance costs, and that counts for something. One area where Acura deserves some credit is safety. Every MDX comes with the full Acura watch suite we mentioned earlier, but now with some 2026 updates like improved lane centering, traffic jam assist, and better radar-based adaptive cruise logic. There's also a new driver attention monitoring system that can detect drowsiness or distraction and warn the driver before things get dangerous. Cargo space. Behind the third row, you've got about 16.3 cubic feet. Fold it flat and you're looking at over 70 cubic feet with all seats down. It's not class-leading, but it's more than enough for road trips, Costco runs, or lugging the kids' sports gear. Fuel economy? The base MDX with SH-AWD is rated at 19 miles per gallon city and 25 miles per gallon highway. The Type S dips to 17 city and 23 highway, which isn't terrible considering the performance boost. If you're looking for a hybrid, you might be disappointed there's no MDX hybrid for 2026 yet. But rumor has it, Acura might have a plug-in version on the way in 2027, and you can bet we'll cover that the second it drops. Now, let's talk competitors for a minute. The 2026 MDX is up against some heavy hitters. You've got the BMW X5, Mercedes GLE, Genesis GV80, Audi Q7, Lexus RX, and Volvo XC90. And truthfully, the MDX holds its own in almost every category. It's more fun to drive than the Lexus. It's more affordable than the Germans. It's more reliable than the Audi or Volvo. And with the Type S, it finally has an edge for performance enthusiasts. So, who's the 2026 Acura MDX really for? If you're someone who wants a luxury SUV with strong performance, real-world practicality, and bulletproof reliability, this should absolutely be on your shortlist. The updated tech, sharper design, and the addition of performance-driven features in the Type S make this MDX the most complete version yet. But, If you're still stuck on the idea of physical knobs and hate touchpad controls with a passion, this might not be your jam. Acura is sticking with the true touchpad interface for now, and while they've improved it, it still has a learning curve. Also, if you need maximum third row space for adults, you might want to look at something like the Buick Enclave or Highlander Palisade. The MDX's third row is fine for kids or occasional use, but it's not exactly limo-level room back there. All that said, the 2026 Acura MDX is the kind of SUV that doesn't shout, it speaks with confidence. It's refined, capable, and designed for people who want to drive, not just commute. So, final thoughts. The MDX is back and it's better than ever. Whether you go with the well-rounded base or the beastly Type S, you're getting serious value, excellent engineering, and a luxury experience that doesn't rely on a flashy badge to prove its worth. Alright, that's gonna do it for today's deep dive.